Guys, and welcome to MediSimplified. So today we are going to talk about the JVP and something in short about the anion gap. Okay, so let's begin our discussion. So this is the JVP wave. It is measured usually at internal jugular vein, which is preferred one for measuring JVP, right? Internal jugular vein. So here we have few positive waves, that is A, C, and V, and then we have few negative waves, that is X and Y. Okay, so each of them correlate with some of the activities of the heart, which I'm going to tell you right now. So wave A is for atrial contraction. Wave A occurs when the atria contracts, atrial contraction. Wave C is for tricuspid bulge, tricuspid bulge, or you can also say isovolumetric or volumetric ventricular contraction. Ventricular contraction. After this, if we talk about the wave V, that is another third positive wave, it is for venous inflow of blood in right atrium. And waves X and Y, which are the negative waves. So X occurs when there is atrial relaxation, and Y occurs when there is early ventricular filling, or you can say early diastolic filling. Early ventricular or diastolic filling. Okay, so this is everything about the JVP. So what you might be asked in exam, that wave A occurs at, so four options will be given, or on the JVP, where will the tricuspid bulge occur? At wave C. Okay, so this are the such kind of question they ask in our exams. And now some pathological JVPs which we should know. First is giant A wave. It is seen in tricuspid stenosis, and pulmonary hypertension. And an A wave is seen in ventricular tachycardia and complete heart block. Right? Then wave absent. A wave is absent in AFib. In AFib, when A wave is absent, in this, or you can also say that why this X wave will also be absent. X wave be absent rahega. Okay? In atrial fibrillation. Then next is giant V wave. Okay, giant V wave. It is seen in total anomalous pulmonary venous disease. Then in this TAPVD, what we see snowman appearance, which was recently asked in a NICT exam. Rapid X descent occurs in cardiac tamponade, and rapid Y descent occurs in constrictive pericarditis. How to remember this two? There is a mnemonic about pay tax. What it is? Pay tax. So rapid X descent occurs in tamponade, rapid Y descent occurs in pericarditis. So pay tax, or pericarditis Y descent, tamponade X descent. So this is a mnemonic to remember them. Now going further, we'll talk about anion gap. What is anion gap? It occurs due to the unmeasured anions like proteins, etc. Right? We don't measure them. We usually measure sodium, we measure potassium, sometimes chloride and bicarb. So, but there are few anions which are not measured normally, and that is what is anion gap about. So in anion gap, what is the formula for anion gap? It is sodium, total sodium minus, in the bracket, bicarb plus chloride. Right, so this is the formula of anion gap. If we know the normal range, it is 140 for sodium, and HCO3 it is 25 plus 105. So this in total becomes 140 minus 130, which is 10. So normal anion gap, we take it as 8 to 10 milliequivalent per liter. So this is something to remember. So एक क्वेश्चन आ जाएगा कि anion gap कैलकुलेट करने के लिए, from physiology. So this is important to remember. अब metabolic acidosis, alkalosis होता है, उसके लिए मैं एक अलग से वीडियो बनाऊंगा. I will make another video for acid base balance if possible. But remember two things that due to this anion gap, we have nice thing to remember. One is called as HAGMA and another one is called as NAGMA. HAGMA is high anion gap metabolic acidosis, and the examples is important to remember because it can be directly asked in our exam. So examples are diabetic ketoacidosis and lactic acidosis, and the last one is salicylic acid poisoning. So these three are typical example of high anion gap, salicylic acid poisoning, high anion gap metabolic acidosis. Okay, and for NAGMA, that is normal anion gap metabolic acidosis. Once again, we have three examples with us, which are important to remember. One is diarrhea, which is commonly asked in exam. Okay, so I'm marking a star. Then road traffic accident, RTA, and hypoaldosteronism. Hypoaldosteronism. Okay, so that was all I had to discuss today. Thank you for watching this video, and all the best for the exam. Hope you pass with the flying colors, and do let me know your results whenever possible, whenever the result come. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you found this video useful. Do like, share and subscribe my channel Medi Simplified. Thank you.